Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube live. I'm still trying to get the hang of all this stuff. I just feel like I'm not good with like technology stuff. Just getting everything ready. It's Easter Monday today. So it's a national holiday here, so like no one went to work today. So my employees are off work today, so I've just kind of been chilling at home. I have like two childcare providers, one that comes during the day and then one that comes at night. So the night nanny is actually here. So she took on an extra shift. So that's cool. But the daytime nanny didn't come today. She's coming tomorrow. So yeah, I was just chilling with my son today, watching like cables, watching Netflix. I was watching YouTube videos. So I can't wait to hear what everyone has done today. If it's a holiday in your country. Were you going to work? While I wait for you guys to like turn up to the live, I thought we could talk about without not for too long though, because I just honestly I just don't care about the topic like that much. I feel like the discussion of like the viral video about luxury goods being made in China is like I just don't think it's not a winning like discussion for luxury creators. Lucy, hi Lucy, hi darling, good to see you here. It's not a winning topic because you just look like you're defending billion-dollar brands, and I'm not in the habit of that, but at the same time it's like it's annoying to like watch people like fall for like a video that he did not, in the video, unless I understood him incorrectly, he did not say that he makes handbags at Hermes or Louis Vuitton. He said he can make something like this. So essentially he was promoting his like super fake replica business. Oh God, I need to do something here. Just a second, guys. Just a second. If you can see the chat, just let me know. Just a sec. The fake bag consumers are worse than the lab-grown diamond girls. Yeah, the lab-grown diamond girls, you can't reason with those people. There's nothing wrong with lab-grown diamonds if that's your thing. I like costume jewelry. I like shopping at Zara and ASOS, but I know what they are. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, like especially because I'm from Tanzania, like no one is going to sit here and say you can make tanzanite in a lab in some other country. Tanzanite is from Tanzania. Diamonds are from the earth. Whatever country they're from the earth. Okay? I definitely think that like if you want to buy them, that's great. Please buy them. I love, by the way, for example, Swarovski crystals. Swarovski crystals are not real crystals, but they're wonderful and beautiful, and we love them and we enjoy what they can do to an outfit. But that does not mean they're real crystals. Lucy says they're delusional about their fakes being identical, whatever they say. They're not identical, oh my God. And the problem is you can't win a debate with these people, right? Because then you look like you're shilling for like billion-dollar capitalist brands, which we just enjoy luxury because we enjoy it. It does not mean that, you know, we necessarily agree with everything. You cannot convince these people. And okay, something that I don't like about the discussion focuses too much on big H. Lucy says, IMO, both lab-grown and fakes are attempts to mislead people. I have to say I agree. We've talked about this before. I think I said it before in a video. I think I said it on Instagram. There was like a creator on TikTok who was like, look at my engagement ring. But she wouldn't say if it was synthetic or if it was real. And then the girls were asking in comments like, is it real? And people were like, stop attacking her. And I'm like, how are you attacking someone for asking if the engagement ring they showed on their own is real? Taylor says, hey, hope you're well. These baby pictures you put out today were so adorable. Hope you're both doing well. Are you spying any big H items right now? Keep looking at box leather, Calvi. Oh my God, thank you, Taylor. Thanks for your kind words. I'm really loving the like constant slim, but like in lizard, or maybe in like crocodile. Although crocodile constant slim is like, I swear it's like 9,000 euros. Tanya says, hey, Kian, happy Easter Monday. Oh, thank you. Hi, Tanya. Happy Easter Monday to you too. Taylor Monroe says, and these lab grown diamonds are the ick. I know. Hi, it's Tamara. Hi, Tamara, guys. Tamara's my nephew. Say hi to my nephew. He's joined us. Keep it cute in the comments, you guys. My nephew's just left a message. Hi, Tamara. Say hi to your mommy. Lucy says, I love exotics, but I feel it is better to put the money towards exotic quota or shoes instead of non-quota. I have to say, I agree. I have to say, when it pertains to Big H, I have to say. You know, do you guys remember in my Paris video of Hermes, not video, when my cousin and I went to Faubourg, she's actually the one who saw the Himalayan Maximals. It was on the top floor and she took a picture of it. And it was a Himalayan Maximals and it's 33,000 euros. I mean, it's a lot of bread, particularly because you could take that money and go to Louis Vuitton and get like a beautiful Capucine. The Capucine at Louis Vuitton is what, 22,000 euros? You still have some change over, you could go to Dior and get something as well. To borrow, hi. Yeah, so I have to say, I agree. And just to Taylor's point here that Taylor was saying about what else. Yeah, I'm thinking about like the Constant Slim and Lizard. I think the normal Constant Slim, I think it comes in Epsom, is like 2,500 euros. I mean, again, it's a lot of money, but I quite like the idea of the Constant Slim because, you know, I have those two. I have the wallet from Louis Vuitton, the small one in the monogram, and then I have the Empreinte card holder. So I've been using both of those. I was like, I quite like the idea of like the Constant Slim, you know. Now, if I get it in exotic, it would count for my Paris profile, but if I bought it in normal Epsom, it wouldn't count. And I have to say, I agree with Lucy, like, and you think it's better to put the money towards a quota by gap because it's just, I think that the financial amount is so significant. And I know someone's going to be like, people who can afford it don't care. I'm sorry, if you like exotics, you know exactly how much these things cost and you are aware of how much they cost. And it's not because you're like, you know, being stingy about it, but it is a lot of money. So I think it's worth being quite strategic. Lucy says some of us can afford it and do care, haha. Yeah, exactly. Like you just want to, because I think if particularly for those of us who love exotics, we know what Hermes' competition is doing. Louis Vuitton's Capucines look amazing. The crocodilian ones look great. I think Dior have made improvements and changes to their exotics because I was speaking to a Glamazon in Paris and she told me when I come this summer, she was like, if you have a look at the crocodilian exotics at Dior right now, she said that she's noticed that the quality has gone way up for them. So maybe they're working with new artisans. I don't know. They're like what, 23, 24K. Now contrast that, and that's in euros. So add a few thousand for dollars. Now contrast that with like the Birkin 25 in euros in matte alligators, 43 stacks in euros. So in US, and the last year, the Birkin 25 in dollars in crocodile in dollars was 55,000 US dollars. So you can see that the gulf is very big, but every single one of those bags is handmade. So I think it's just your decision to decide, do you want an Hermes exotic, a Louis Vuitton exotic, a Dior exotic, or should you buy all three and then see? I kind of like the idea of buying at least two crocodile pieces, and then you can make a contrast. And even to Taylor's point, because he said that he was interested in something in box leather. I saw on the Purse Forum, they said that the Kelly Disorder in box leather is like, you know, the Kelly Disorder in box leather, I think it's like 16,000. Box leather is a lot of money. I drive everywhere, so maybe I could risk it. If I didn't drive, I'd be like, oh, I don't know about this. Lucy says, who wants to feel scammed? Not me. I am a lady doing croc alligator. Looks amazing in any other color, but some of H's croc colors are ugly. I have to say, Dior's crocodile and ostrich colors are insanely beautiful. Like, if you're considering an exotic, honestly, I think you can get a lot of bang for your buck over there. I'll definitely be passing by Dior when I go this summer. A bag lover Lux. Hello. Hi, Kagam. I'm beginning to like exotic. Okay, that's great. Glad to hear it. I hope I've played a small role in that. They completely transform normal leather goods. Like all of the girls who make exotics are like high jewelry. Honestly, think about it. Exotics are like pave diamonds. They're like pave diamonds. Like pave diamonds transform like a standard gold bracelet or ring. There's nothing wrong if you don't like diamonds. That's fine. But they do take it to that next level. They just, particularly the crocodile leathers, like they just, yeah. I mean, this is an apex predator. It's the oldest continuous living being because it's a dinosaur. Lucy says, I know some say exotic lady Dior lose a lot of value on resale. Yeah, they do. But I just feel like at that price point, like you have to just buy it because you love it. You know what I mean? Lucy says, agreed. Exotics provide a more elevated look. Yeah, for sure. But I do understand why some may not want them because they tend to be loud. They're very loud, yeah. Although not from Bag Lover Lux says, although not from mainstream brands. Oh, okay. You might like this. Etro have Python. Ferragamo have Python. No, they don't. Ferragamo have Crocodile. Sorry, disconnected. Just let me know if you can still hear me. Sorry. The internet's. Sorry about that. Taylor said, I agree. All I want is a box Birkin 40 for work, but I get the train into the city every day and it's not worth wrecking it. Would you ever get an ostrich bag or accessory? Yeah, definitely. I would love to get an ostrich bag, maybe even this summer. But it's just with ostrich, there's so many great pieces out there. I think that the problem with boxes, you're saying that, you know, you'd love a box Birkin 40. Going on the train, because I know you live in Scotland, like you'd be going on the train every day to go into work. When it rains, that thing is going to get absolutely wrecked. You know what I mean? It's such a beautiful idea. I would do it if I was driving every day. Bag Lover Lux says, okay, great, I'll check out Etro. Yeah, Etro, Ferragamo, Delvaux make exotics. Yeah, I swear I've seen some Delvaux exotics. Tiny says, can hear you. Okay, great. Lucy says, some places offer croc embossed, but I prefer real croc. Mock croc is like, you know, it's like fake meat. No offense if you're a vegan or you don't believe in eating animals. Nothing is going to taste like the real McCoy, as they say. It's fine. It can, but it's not the real thing. Lucy says, I love box, but I know I'd be pissed if I scratched it up. I think the problem with box is like, if someone touched me, I would want to have them arrested and jailed for touching that bag. I'll be like, why are you doing that? You need to go to jail today. Taylor says, yes, it wrecks in the rain. We get absolutely wrecked. And Scotland is amazing, but it does rain a lot there. So it's going to get wrecked. That's the problem. And I know people are like, oh, the Mary-Kate Ashley Olsen thing, the wrecked Birkins. No, that only looks good in pictures. They do not look good in real life wrecked. Taylor says, with my Broly, haha. Yeah, so I mean, even with the thing we were talking about at the beginning, about the discussion about like, you know, where the bags are made. Who cares where they're made? I mean, who gives a toss where they're made? I don't care where they're made. I care how they're made. They're not made in China, but I don't care that if they were, that wouldn't bother me. And it's annoying to me that people can't see that this is obviously a geopolitical thing, and this is about two countries fighting over something. It has nothing to do with luxury. You know, I just, why we just, I don't know, guys. I just like, I'm so confused about the whole thing. Like, I don't understand how people can think, genuinely think, like, think about it. A real supplier would go on TikTok and risk their entire business with non-disclosure agreements to say, I make Birkins in a specific town in XYZ country. Yeah, right. Like, as a businesswoman, I've signed so many NDAs. You are not allowed to say, you're not allowed to, if you sign an NDA saying, do not name me in public, you cannot do that. You can be sued and lose all of your money. And you'll be living, like, you know how I say, because you know I'm a Charles Dickens person, and you'll be living with Oliver Twist and the Artful Dodger outside. You will have no money. You will be like, remember in Beauty and the Beast when the enchantress was like, please help me, and the prince was like, girl, bye. And she's like, bibbity bobbity boo, bang. You will literally be living in a castle with no electricity and no money. Tanya says these tariffs causing chaos. Absolutely, absolutely. Lucy says exactly, people are so gullible, but the knockoff factory dude was brilliant for starting this rumor. I bet sales are up. Yeah, I mean, they're replicas. Exactly, they're replicas. I mean, hey, that's capitalism. Okay, this is another thing. I don't. Beauty Bon Voyage says he's advertising his business fake backers. Yeah, he is. And okay, this is what I want to say. It's not just Hermes. And guys, I apologize in advance if it cuts out because we've had a lot of rain today. I think that's affecting internet. If it cuts out again, I'll reconnect. But it's not just about Hermes. It kind of annoys me that people just focus on Hermes. Louis Vuitton make all of their trunks, all of their hard-sided pieces are made in Louis Vuitton's hometown of Agnès-sur-Seine, which is just outside of Paris. It's a commuter town. Like, Parisians live there in these big, gorgeous, beautiful houses. All of the hard-sided pieces are made there. All of the lozines are made there. All of the cotte-files are made there. The petite valise is made there. They have the exotics only atelier in, I think it's just outside of Paris. WWD covered it once, and they make all the crocodile pieces there. They make all the ostrich and curung pieces in Italy in a company owned workshop. So it's like, and then you obviously you have the factory in America and Texas, whatever, and you have places in Spain and other places in Spain and Italy for canvas. So it's like, and those are just two companies. I was telling someone on TikTok in a comment, what about Fendi? Oh, their furs are fake. I'm like, oh, the Fendi furs are all made in Rome in their atelier. Obviously, where they get the pelts from is where they get them from. Fur comes from different places, but you can't reason with these people, so there's just no point trying. I'm just waiting for this to blow over and go away. And people are brigading videos as well. Tanya says, I think these rumors are helping people feel justified for buying replicas. Yeah, but you're still playing the capitalist brand game. You're not getting one up on the man. You're not beating the man. Again, sometimes I do indulge in debating people who support replicas. If that's what you want to do with your money, that's fine. But what I'm saying is you're not beating the man. You know what I mean? You're not like winning at the capitalism game. You're still playing the capitalism game because you still want to fool people into thinking you have a brand. So you're no better than the rest of us. Beauty Bon Voyage says, I find it interesting people feel as though it's made in China something wrong. Brands want to make a profit and they have bills to pay. You have numerous factories for brands. China helps with volume. Brands still have factories elsewhere. Even if something's made in China, that does not mean it's made badly. Ming vases, which are priceless, were made in China. Ming vases from the Ming dynasty, for God's sake. I think that the problem with this discussion is that the people who don't buy luxury brands are really happy about this because they're like, every single thing I see from luxury is made in China. It's like, that's not true. Okay. In autumn, when I was in Paris playing the game, there's so many tourists from mainland China and from Japan who are back in Paris shopping and so on and so forth. Why would they be there if things were made in China? And again, there's nothing wrong with something made in China, at all. China has a deep, rich history of embroidery. Like I said, the Ming vases from the Ming dynasty. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just annoying to me to try and reason with people. So I've been letting people have it. People have been leaving troll comments on some of my videos, you're filming videos about things made in China. I'm like, okay, cool. Do you want a cookie? How do you feel about your day that you left that comment? How do you feel about your day? Do you think you're better than me now? Taylor says, do you have any interest in Loro Piana? I heard that they have an outlet somewhere in France. I appreciate it's not where you are, so maybe not, but I like their you like their glamour. Okay. I was actually it's funny you say that. I was actually on Loro Piana's website yesterday because I was like, on my next trip, Loro Piana will be one of the brands that I'm not familiar with. I'm going to go to the flagship store and have a look around. I think that their flagship store is where they have a store in Faubourg Saint-Honoré. I think they have a store near, or is it? I think their store is somewhere in near Faubourg. Yeah, exactly. It's 12 Faubourg Saint-Honoré. So I'll definitely pass by there and have a look. I think Loro Piana is more of my husband's tastes. It's very subtle. It's very discreet. They don't, but they do have exotics. So I'll check those out. But yeah, I'm very open-minded. I'm a maximalist, but I do appreciate what some brands are doing on the minimalist side. So I definitely wouldn't mind checking them out. Lou says Loro Piana make great quality knits. Highly recommend. Better than MS quality, my honest opinion. I mean, I can see that because that's what they're known for, right? And MS doesn't do everything well. Sometimes I just feel like this discussion can get so frustrating, when you're trying to discuss this topic with people, because people, I don't know if you guys watched my video when we talked about the lawsuit being thrown out. Tanya says, would love if you would check out Etro. Yes, I'm going to the Etro store on this next trip. It's near the Louis Vuitton Saint-Germain. It's in the Saint-Germain district, which is this really cool, artsy district of Paris. It's where all the artists live in the north of Paris, where I was studying, and they also live in Saint-Germain-des-Prés. So I'll definitely be going there. Yeah, definitely. I really like that bag, the Vela. I'm considering it. I'm very close to pulling the trigger on it. I just want to see it in person and see, because it's very unique looking. But yeah, I like Etro and I like the whole 70s vibe. But yeah, to your point, Lucy, about Loro Piana, yeah, the quality looks great, and I think that the problem is like, and even in my video we talked about this, where I talked about the Hermes lawsuit being thrown out. Even Hermes admitted that Louis Vuitton and Gucci are their competition. Hermes did admit that. It was like written on this like articles, like this like newspaper news website page, that basically Hermes's lawyers admitted that they wouldn't be surprised if the court believed that Hermes's leather handbags were in the same like market as products from Louis Vuitton and Gucci. So it's like, this idea that Hermes is this like unicorn that exists on its own and doesn't exist with competitors is just nonsense. Lucy says the Vela bag is gorgeous. I'm obsessed with the Vela bag, honey. I'm obsessed. Okay, it's in my Louisa Roma and my Farfetch wish list. Sometimes I feel like Farfetch lies though, because I checked my Farfetch wish list, and Farfetch is like, there's this Missoni play suit. I was thinking about getting it, but I have to like, I've never bought clothing from Missoni, so I don't know if it's like Moschino, which runs small, or like Versace. And it was like one left. You know when you're like one more, you're like, okay, let me go by. Ollie, hi Kay, hi Ollie. Lucy says Farfetch is more expensive here in the US for some reason. I think it's because it's based in Europe, but yeah, I've noticed. I noticed the dollars. The dollar is more expensive. Yeah, for Farfetch, I've noticed that as well. Lucy says Missoni runs very small. Okay, it's good to know that. So that I'll size up twice then. It was very cute, and it was like one left. I'm like, okay, goodbye. Go away. Yeah, maybe I'll feature Loro Piana in my next dragging video. There are a lot of reviews for this store. There are a lot of bad reviews as well. My husband was like, why don't you film a video where like people are praising brands? I'm like, that's boring. Don't want to like, you don't want to see. Tanya says, I love the Vela bag in gold. Oh my God, that's the one I like. That's the one I put in my Farfetch wish list. And I don't like neutrals. That's the only neutral bag color I like. I like it. I don't know if you guys, I put this in my like Louis Vuitton Your Rivals video for the last one I did. It was like the Capucine with this like gold chain with the charms in pink. It's like a pink with a purple undertone. It's so beautiful. It's on the website right now. It's gorgeous. It's like 5,900. And then there's like, so this summer, I'll definitely go to Etro. I'll go to Loro Piana, I'll go to Delvaux. I also want to go to Chopard. I've never bought anything from Chopard yet, and I'll go back to Cartier. Maybe not the Cartier Champs-Élysées store. Maybe I'll try another store. There are tons of Cartier boutiques in Paris, so. Ollie says, watched your video. Great point on Bethany getting dragged by Big C from my boutique, no less. Oh my God, I love that she got dragged at your boutique. Big C told Bethany, go please. Bethany is a reality star. They know who she was. They were not playing with Bethany that day. Don't get me wrong. I like Bethany, but I just feel like she tries really hard to be relatable. And I feel like the Real Housewives have to understand, you are not relatable. That is what makes the show. I don't want Bethany to be like, hey guys, I'm going to try and relate to everyone. I'm going to go shop at Zara. No one cares what you think about Zara, boo-boo. Bethany, you have made a ton of money selling cocktails for women. Go be fabulous, spend your money, and show us how incredible and fabulous you are. Lisa says Bethany's crazy. Yeah, she is. Definitely. Lisa says she was just saying the Four Seasons Philly is the best hotel in the world. Come on now, no shade to Philly. Okay, I've never been to Philadelphia. But there are a lot of incredible hotels in the world. Honey, we're gonna, the problem with things like this is this, right? This kind of reminds me of people who like don't travel, right? And they go to like three places and they're like, this is the best place in the world. It's like, you're gonna need to visit like 50 hotels before you start saying what's the best. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been to Philadelphia. I'm sure it's fantastic. You don't want to go, trust me, ha ha ha. What hotels do you prefer in Paris? I just feel like the hotels I've stayed in Paris, they've been very Spartan, very monk-like. So I can't say I have any like incredible recommendations, but I do have recommendations for London, the Intercontinental, really, really nice. It's very popular with like the international political scene. It's at Hyde Park. That's a great hotel. I used to go there all the time. It's definitely, I think, has seen better days. The Dorchester is a fantastic hotel. I wish someone would say something to me about the Dorchester. I would say that I have better recommendations like high end or nice hotels for London, because I just feel like Paris hotel rooms are so small, so you really need to go and spend the money. Whereas I feel like in London there's better bang for your buck. But I think the Dorchester is a beautiful hotel. I've stayed there before many years ago before I was filming, and also at Intercontinental. I love hotels, by the way, but I just feel like Paris. I feel like Paris hotels. The rooms are so small. Even in a really nice property, you really need to spend like that 700, 800 euros a night to see like a good premium like luxury hotel in Paris, unless you're staying at like the Ritz or the Peninsula or places like that. I would love to go stay there, and I feel like with a baby, I would rather stay in like a really nice hotel with like an infant, because I just feel like it's so much stress to go the more like, just to kind of say the cheapest place. My husband and I, I went to a convent school, he went to an all boys school, like we can stay anywhere, but even we were like, let's choose somewhere nice in Paris because the rooms are so small. Bag Lux says, don't really care for the main brands. To be honest, if I was going to buy anything from mainstream, it would be vintage. Okay, do you like any mainstream brands like at all? Because I just feel like with hotels, it's like you need to like go to many hotels. Like for Bethany, I've never been to Philadelphia. I'm sure it's fantastic, but for Bethany to be like that's the best hotel in the world, you're gonna need to say maybe it's the best hotel in America, because the world, the world, it's a big place. The world's a big place. Like even for someone to be like the best hotel in Paris, you're gonna have to stay at all of the major luxury hotels like Le Bristol and Crillon and all those other places before you can say that. Lucy says, "Girl, it's not even like the best hotel on the East Coast." I think she says these things to trigger people. Well, Chanel told her to sit down. Chanel told her to sit down. I have to say, I kind of like when celebrities kind of get checked and dragged, because I think it reminds them that they're human. Like when Jay Leno tried to buy a Ferrari and Ferrari told him no. This was like at the height of his fame. I've posted this story so many times on Instagram, just for those of you who don't know. He went into a Ferrari dealership many years ago, was like, I want to buy this car. The Ferrari salesman was like, it's already been allocated to a client. You can't buy it. Being told no for a celebrity must be a hard thing. Lucy says, I think she says these things to trigger people. Yeah, I think she does for sure. Ollie says best in Philly, maybe. Yeah, I think like, again, I've never stayed there. What hotel have I stayed at in New York? When I was really young, I went to the Plaza once with my mom, but that was just way too young to remember what it was like. But she was telling me like she took me there once, like we stayed there once. But that was like I was so young that it just doesn't count. I would love to try it again and see like what it's like. In the Waldorf Astoria in New York is reopening, so that's exciting. Like hotels require more than just like, and I don't think one person can be a judge of hotels. Like Bethany needs to like get all the housewives together and they can all judge. Then maybe it's like, okay, even in London, there's a lot of competition for hotels. The Connaught, the Dorchester, the Savoy, Claridge's. And those are like the old school ones. There are a lot of new hotels that are great. Abigail says hi, Abigail. Lucy said you'd love the Baccarat Hotel in New York City. Highly recommend. Okay, great. I'll do that. I'll check that out. I'm a hotel person. Like for example, I said this before. I love to gamble. I love to go to the casino. I love to play cards. One day when things are, I mean, I don't know, but one day I'll be in Las Vegas. One day we'll see how the world turns. Like what is like the luxury hotel of Las Vegas with like a really high-end casino? Okay, because whenever I search this information online, because I'm so used to like things from like a European perspective in terms of hotels and luxury, and even here, so it's hard for me to tell like in America what would be considered like a really high-end hotel. Don't forget, in Europe and in Asia, the standards are all different because each culture has its own view. Tanya says, I would love a Real Housewives review of hotels. They've stayed across all franchise. Exactly. That's what Bethany should do. Bethany should do that. But don't sit here and be like, I am going to be the one to say, I would never do that, by the way. I would never be like, this is the best hotel in Paris. The bar is very high. Ollie says Vegas needs a refresh. Okay. So, and what I mean by like high end is like, I really like luxurious high-end hotels that have a business like, sorry about that. It just keeps going in and out. Just stay in the live, guys. Don't go away. Um, Lucy says, so it's tough in Vegas. Hotels will be affordable compared to other places, but because they try to lure people, I wouldn't say anything in Vegas is ultra lux. Okay, so it's not like Monaco, basically. It's not like the casino in Monaco where it's like people like I want to stay somewhere where like people are not wearing shorts at breakfast. That's what I mean. Nothing like Monaco. Okay, fine. That's what I want to know. Thanks. Vegas is Vegas is kind of sad. Okay. No, what I mean is this: like the casinos here, like because this is a hot tropical country, no one's gonna be wearing a ball gown to like go play baccarat or play cards or like play poker or something, right? But like people like clean up quite nicely. I was at the casino a few days ago with my husband, and there was a lovely American couple who was there. They were on holiday here on safari. They were so much fun. I was chatting with them, and they were like, "Everyone dresses really nice here." Like, I think he was told like he shouldn't come again wearing shorts. And then her husband, and then I was like, "Yeah, you can't wear shorts," because I was surprised they were allowed into the casino wearing shorts. Tabara says, I have to go. Bye. I really enjoyed this. Okay, say hi to your mommy and your daddy. Lucy says, ha ha ha. Yes, American love. Okay, you said this, Lucy, not me. I say this as an American. Lucy says, as an American, Americans love being slobs. I don't think Americans are slobs. That's not what I mean. It was her husband. Her husband was like wearing the shorts, and he got told off for wearing shorts in a casino here. And don't forget, it's a tropical country. It's hot. It's warm, right? So, but he got told off, and he was like, I feel really bad that I didn't take it seriously. And I was like, it's not so much take it seriously, but just be cleaned up a little bit. So that's what I was saying. Is there like a casino in Las Vegas where people are not wearing shorts? Like I want to go somewhere where like you can wear like a really nice dress or wear nice trousers and a nice skirt, and you look like cute and sexy and glam, and not look. Would you look weird if everyone's in flip flops? Lisa says people here wear pajamas and stuff out in public, so at night people do get dressed up. Okay, fine. Bye tomorrow. Yeah, so it's just. It was just so funny. They were absolute gems, though. We had a great time with them. They were at the roulette table with us, so it was really nice to chat to them. And they were just like, "Oh my god, we didn't know that. Like, you have to like look nice and stuff." And they were saying like in America it's much more casual. And I think that's the key thing. I mean, the last time I was in the States was 6 years ago for my honeymoon, and definitely like I did notice like style in America is like very like effortless and relaxed and chilled and casual, and that's fine. And I think I said this before, like a casual look in London and Paris is still really dressed up, perhaps maybe in the States. Lucy says in Vegas, Aria win, Bellagio win is probably not one. Okay, everyone has said the win. I'm in this like card and casino group on Facebook, and everyone said the win. So I guess maybe that's what we'll go stay. Let me go Google it, see what it looks like. Win Hotel, Las Vegas. Okay. Everyone said it's like very high end. So cool. That's what I'm, because I'm thinking like, particularly now, like after having an infant, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, life is for the living. Someone had left a comment on the video about like, oh, everything's made in China and all of this stuff. I'm like, look, life is too short to sit here and be worried like what people think. I'm gonna buy what I want. You can go buy what you want. Everyone's just go buy the things they want. If you want to buy replicas, please do that. But it's a replica. It's not from the store. Lucy says win is high end. In a phony type of way, think low budget Dubai. Okay, you're really crushing me here. I like playing single zero roulette, so I will look for those tables if they have them. But yeah, this is exciting. So that will eventually happen, but not right now. Definitely going to Europe first. I don't know when we'll be in the States next because there's so much stuff going on in the world politically, so it's hard to tell what's going on. But I know the World Cup is in America next year, so maybe next year. Because initially we were going to come this year, but there's so much going on politically. It seems a little bit, I don't know. Let's just wait things out until things calm down a little bit. So for right now, I'll just carry on with like Europe, and I also wanted to go to like Asia. The thing with this stuff is like when if you have like I think a small infant, you kind of have to think of like Like, do you go with a nanny? Yes or no? Do you take your nanny? Yes or no? I've been thinking about that. Like, if I was to go to like Singapore or like Japan or Korea, I think I'd probably take her. But frankly, if I was to go to America, I'd probably want to take her, or London, just because I think it's just such a long trip, and it would be good to like, because like I nanny agencies, but I'm so freaked out that you'd like contact an agency and they're like steal your baby or something. And I know that's not going to happen, but I watched a TV movie on YouTube about a woman who like snatched a woman's baby, and I'm like, how is this woman not in the ground right now? Lucy says take the nanny. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's something I've been thinking about. Just thinking about. I've just been thinking about it. Like if I was to go traveling, like how would I take her, and and so on and so forth. Okay, the wind looks nice. This looks like my kind of place. This looks very nice. Just looking here. So thanks for that suggestion. I'll research it some more. Ooh, it looks really nice. I saw people talking about this. I thought this is interesting. People were critiquing this like couple on TikTok. It just came up on For You page. They went on a holiday like without their baby and left their baby with their grandparents, and people were like, "Oh my God, you're horrible parents! Like you're terrible people." Guys, what do you think about that? I mean, it's like the way people were reacting. I thought was quite shocking. I think the only thing I was thinking about that was like if she's breastfeeding, that might be a bit hard. Like because then you wouldn't be able to breastfeed your baby. But I don't know. I feel like social media makes things worse. I talked about this in my video when we talked about the situation at Louis Vuitton, like Louis Vuitton making a lot of products. And I think that this has been like a hot topic, like discussion, which many of us have discussed. Like, do Louis Vuitton make too much stuff? Like, you buy a Capucine and then by next week your Capucine is like out of date. Part of me wonders, like, do they do this like on purpose or by design? Like, do they do it on purpose, like having a huge flow of Capucines and different designs so that your Capucine, you could see it as like your Capucine is out of date, or you could see it as your Capucine is special because there's always something different on the market. I mean, what do you guys think about it? Just make sure that this thing is working. Tony says, I think aside from breastfeeding aspect, to my previous point, on the proximity, some families have their grandparents move in to babysit, so why not go for a small break, leave a baby in safe hands? Yeah, for sure. I mean, my mom was with me for like 3 weeks, so it's just people were attacking them like, wow, you're horrible parents, like you left the baby behind. I was like, you don't know, like maybe the mother's going through postnatal depression, maybe she's been crying every day, like the baby blues is the real thing. I wasn't defending the couple because I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think maybe when a child's a little bit older, they had like a newborn baby. It was like a 2-month-old baby, and people were attacking them. So I was kind of like, this is tough. But then at the same time, like, why would you post this on the internet? Because you're gonna get dragged. Lisa says, I don't view high-end things as out of date. It's about Louis Vuitton. Okay, I don't know. It feels like it's a vibe as long as it's in good condition still. Yeah, and I think that's the thing, like with the Louis Vuitton thing. Louis Vuitton is a massive business. Like, I talked about this in my video. It is not feasible for anyone to be like, Louis Vuitton makes too much product. If you think that they make too much product, I mean, they have a store on every single continent in the world, with the exception of Antarctica. Tony says some things don't come off well on social media. Wasn't smart to post. Yeah. I mean, definitely don't post it. Like, if you're going traveling, your baby's not with you, please don't post that. Sometimes I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, do you want to be attacked? Yes or no? I'm just glad it's not me, For right now, I couldn't foresee a time traveling without him. It would just be too hard for me to figure out how. I couldn't see it. And yeah, I am breastfeeding now, but I think also I think if I was to travel without him right now at infant stage, I think it would just be too difficult. I think with an older child, it's fine. I talked about this as well. I believe I talked about this in a video or on Instagram Live, how I was flying on my own when I was 8 and 9. My parents were working in different parts of the world. A 7, 8, and 9-year-old child is completely different from an infant who's like 2 or 3 months old. So, I think people just love to judge on the internet. So whether it's Louis Vuitton or children, people will be judging you. You know, and just to go back to that Louis Vuitton point, I think a lot of people who shop at Louis Vuitton and who like Louis Vuitton might be like, okay, Louis Vuitton is producing too much stuff, and it's just too much for me to take on. Whereas I think that more accurate way of looking is Louis Vuitton has something for different types of people. They know their customers best. Big H don't make enough new stuff that is interesting if you ask me. Say what you want about Louis Vuitton, but frankly, every month, every week they have new things. So if you like something, you can buy it. If you don't like something, you don't have to buy it. And it's not just handbags. They have watches, they have jewelry. I think they said that their watches and their jewelry was like the only part of Louis Vuitton this quarter that made money. Like they didn't lose money on that. So people clearly are liking what they have to offer. Lucy says, the thing is, I don't think it's just LV. Chanel is constantly releasing new things too. Yeah, and even with Chanel, I'm so glad you brought up Chanel because it's quiet right now because it's like hard to get leaked information. They're not sharing leaked stuff as much as they used to. Maybe they're waiting for Matthew Blasey to start so they can start sharing his vision. But it's like Chanel release. How many collections does Big C do a year? What, 7 collections? Two haute couture shows. Coco Nage, Coco Beach, Spring Summer, Autumn Winter, Métier d'Art. 7 collections. That's a lot of collections. And then you also have the B collections, that the collection that's not on from the catwalk. You know, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, they must, and also it's not like people shop every single collection. I think someone was saying something similar on TikTok about Bottega Veneta, that they felt like Bottega Veneta was releasing so much stuff. It's like, at the end of the day, it is a business that exists to make money. As much as people think it's a quiet luxury business, it exists to make money. Lucy says, for me, it does become slightly fatiguing, but it's still slower than the fast fashion cycle. Fast fashion cycle is insane. Like, you know me, I'm an ASOS girl. Like ASOS have like, I swear they upload like 150 items a day, new. Like, no, I swear they upload like just on the women's section. Lucy says, exactly, it's a bit much. Yeah, so I think, I don't know, I feel like sometimes as consumers, we might need to like also kind of discuss our part in this. Because I think, you know, people can say, oh, it's too much, you know, it's like fast fashion. But those people are still watching those new arrival videos. Even if you're not buying, you're like, let me just, you know, see what's new. I think that brands should make things that we want to see. And I think brands should do stuff that's interesting. Like Louis Vuitton's jewelry and watches, they look interesting. I think Dior's jewelry is interesting. Some of you are telling me you think it's really overpriced. I'm still interested in the rose line. You know, the Dior fine jewelry line that's like done after a rose. It's interesting. I would need to like see it in person again. It's quite pricey, but I guess what I'm saying is like, this is how capitalism works. People, you know, with the made in China debate, the thing that I really like disliked about it, in addition to the fact that China has a great, beautiful heritage of making beautiful things, the way people are like, oh my God, I can't believe it's like made in China for like $10, but you're happy being paid, you know, $200,000 a year working in your salary job though. If you're paid a lot of money doing your job or your business, how can you be annoyed at another business charging the amount of money that they want for their product? That's how capitalism works. You can't say, oh, I want to be the only person who makes a ton of money and have a big stock portfolio, and then you want to tell someone, I don't think you should charge more than £1,000 for this. Lisa says, I totally agree. We've also normalized buying a ton of luxury all the time versus a little here and there over time. Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad that you brought this up because it is normalized. You know, for me, it's like the people buying a lot of stuff doesn't bother me. I know that for a lot of people, it's like, oh, okay, people buy too much. I think luxury consumption looks different for a lot of people. There are a lot of people who think like it should feel special all of the time. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's the same. I view it the same way that I view the whole discussion about like, like when you watch a luxury haul and someone is like justifying why they bought something. I'm exhausted hearing people justify why they buy something. You don't have to buy something because it's your birthday. It's just to be clear. When I do my birthday video, I'll be like, I bought this for my birthday, but you don't need to justify your interest in your tastes. And I think that's something that as women we do a lot. Men don't do that. Like I said, I'm really into gambling, playing cards, and I love cars as well. In these like spaces that are male dominated, so like the casino world and the car collecting world, men don't justify their purchases. So I think also as girls, not to copy men or anything like that, but I think as women, like, you don't need to justify why you like something. If you like something you want to buy and you're not stealing money from anyone, and you're not like going to be on the street living outside like Oliver Twist, by all means. I think that social media has also made it seem like it's normal to buy a lot of stuff all of the time. I guess because some people see themselves as collectors. I don't see myself as a collector. I think sometimes I wonder if people use the collecting word as an excuse to shop. I think it's more honest to just be like, you really enjoy shopping and you're someone who likes to shop. I mean, my whole life I've enjoyed shopping. Shopping has always been, I don't know if you guys were like this, but I was always someone who enjoyed going to the shops. Like when I had a part-time job at uni, when we get our commissions from the sales job, I go to the shops. Like I go to the shops when I was living in the UK at the time. In those days it was like high street shops. It's like not anything high end, but maybe really nice. That was like a premium brand or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm a shopping person. Sometimes I feel like people use the collecting excuse to like excuse their spending. You don't need to excuse anything if it's your money. Social media, Beauty Bonfire says, social media killed the superstar and the longevity of trends lasting to become memorable long term. People will be less emotionally attached to a product like they used to with normalization. Yeah, great point. Well said. I agree. It did. Well said. Lucy says, I was always into fashion and shopping too. I agree. I think some of these collectors are low-key addicted. Some of these collectors are shopping addicts and might be addicted to shopping. And some of them might be hoarders. And again, the word collector doesn't sound as bad as hoarder or shopping addict. I think you should own it. If you are someone who enjoys shopping, go and shop and tell us all the cool things about shopping and give us tips on how to shop better. Lucy says, yeah. Tanya says, I think more people are shopaholics. Yes, well said. Instead of collectors, and they enjoy the feeling of buying new shiny things that are trendy instead of what the actual items. I completely agree. Completely agree. Shopaholics is also a great word to explain it. Yeah. Lucy says shopping addicts. Lucy says hoarders, haha, but you're right. Yes, some people are hoarders, yeah. Tanya says collector makes it sound nuanced and thoughtful and measured. There was some video came up on Instagram of some woman who collects Barbie dolls made from by Mattel. Obviously, only Mattel can make Barbies. And the room where she has all the Barbies is absolutely gorgeous, and the Barbies are in pristine condition. She has one that's in the box and never opened, and then she has the one that's opened, and it's like all collected. That is not something that, to me, I find interesting, but I think it's really, and I by the way, I like Barbies, I like dolls. I think they're really wonderful, and I think they're great, and I think that they're great for, I think we all have memories of playing with dolls when we were little. So I actually think the idea of having a dollhouse is really cool. But when I was watching the video, the idea of just having a room where she has all these things like her Barbie dolls that are all, they look beautiful. To me, it's just like, I'm not a collector. So the people who are true collectors, I think you see it because the stuff is in fantastic shape. True collectors almost never sell their collections. That's something else. Whereas I feel like a lot of people who claim that they're collectors in luxury, they sell things so they can buy more things. You're not a collector, you're a shopping addict. Okay, and that's fine. Just own it. Tanya says, Tanya says, collector makes it sound nuanced and thoughtful and measured. Right. Tanya says, exactly, it's a true collection. That's a true collection. Like the Barbies look great. Like she even got me. I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like she has her Barbies and stuff, you know what I mean? And she's, an adult. Lucy says, exactly, they don't sell. Yeah, they don't. A real collector is not selling their stuff because they remember like where they bought something, and it makes me feel like this. For example, this woman, she had the first ever African-American Barbie. That's a piece of history. That's not just like some random thing that someone bought and they're going to put it on fashion file. You can't put that thing on fashion file. It's probably worth hundreds of thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars today, right? So I think that there are very few collectors in luxury, but I think there are a lot of people who are addicted to shopping and who love to shop. I think that there's a difference between, because Tanya, you had brought up shopaholic. I think there's a difference between loving to shop and enjoying the sort of muscularity of shopping. Remember in Sex and the City when Carrie was like, shopping is my cardio? I like going to physical stores. I like going to department stores and to flagships. Like, I really enjoy the art of it. But like the shopaholics, like the people who are constantly buying, that might be a hoarding issue as well. Lucy says, I think they buy the validation of internet strangers. Yeah, I mean, definitely that plays a role, definitely. Especially if like you're buying stuff and you're reselling it so you can buy other stuff. And again, if you want to do that, please do that. But I think don't like use it as like justification because you're a collector. Tanya says it's like being an archivist, which takes a lot of time and energy. Well said. Exactly. I think you're right. That's a great comparison. Like an archivist and a collector versus someone who's like a hoarder or is like shops, like you said, shops maybe for validation or shops for, certain pieces. And brands know like the unboxing culture, which I love, and I have nothing against unboxings. I love to watch them. I want people to post them. But brands know that unboxing culture is so popular so that they know that if you make something limited, I just saw someone, again, I don't know her name, sorry, it just came up on Instagram. There was a lady who got like a Karung capucine. It is so stunning. I didn't know how beautiful Karung was until I saw it. And she's just like showing how beautiful it is. But she has a ton of exotics. I was like, wow, okay, I've never seen who this woman is before. So it's like, and everyone's commenting on the video with the capucine, but then she has other reels that's just her chilling in an outfit, but no one's commenting on that. So brands also know that people love to see beautiful things and people love to buy beautiful things. They know that. So I think that also kind of plays a role. I think it's better to just own your passions and what you like, and whatever it is that you like, just own it. If you're someone who like really loves to shop and like to shop often, please do that and own it. But like, I feel like sometimes like as women, like particularly women, because like I said, in a lot of the men's spaces that I'm in, I don't hear excuses for like why someone's buying a Porsche or why someone's buying a Lamborghini. There's this one car group I'm in on Facebook, and there are very few women who are in it. It's just a bunch of lads posting their car collections. One of them was like, oh, just picked up the Porsche Cayenne. I think I'm going to get the Cullinan by Rolls-Royce. I mean, the Cullinan is a 300,000 pound car. And I don't even think that's brand new. I think that's like a used Rolls-Royce Cullinan. You're not buying the Cullinan for a special occasion or because you worked really hard. You're buying it because you like it, which I'm fine with. I actually think that's a more honest way. You like something, you have the money for it. Okay, I'm going to buy it. Lucy says, was this the one you told us about that was cheap with his GF? No, that was another person. Oh God, that guy really pissed me off. Tanya says, I also think I hate when men are cheap but will spend a ton of money on themselves. Like, I hate that. I want you to spend all of your money on your girlfriend or wife, please. If you're buying a Cullinan, I expect to see her with diamonds on her fingers today. Tanya says, I also think that's why some people are over luxury, is because they aren't actually interested in luxury in its totality, e.g. brand history, artistry, tailoring. They just like buying expensive things. Well said. Well said. I agree. I have to say I agree. And people want to buy brands that are popular. That's why like Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, Gucci she's still one of the girls. And I have to say, I agree with you. People want to buy expensive things and get credit for that because we live in a world where, sorry, it disconnected. Beauty Bon Voyage says, true collectors want to keep things forever, but yeah, those buying and selling a year or two later really do sound like addicts and hoarders. Consumers over-consuming to fill the void. Totally agree. Tanya says, totally agree, Tanya. And Beauty Bon Voyage says, I think those folks are just following trends and the excitement, so once it wears off, they move on to the next hot thing. I think that the problem is like, there comes a point where it's like, particularly with the internet, because these algorithms, they really reinforce everything that you guys are talking about. People love to watch people unbox expensive things. Well said. Tanya, you were saying people like to see people, people like to buy expensive things, right? So that's why they're losing their interest in luxury. But I also think that there are a lot of people, particularly with this whole I'm over the luxury thing, there are a lot of people who during COVID, should I say, people decided to make this like their career because the views during COVID was so high. I think I started taking my page seriously after I got married. I got married in August 2019. So just as COVID was starting is when I began to say, okay, I'm going to take this page seriously. I'm going to post often. There was so many people in videos. Like it didn't matter how many like subscribers you had. And I think a lot of people around that time who had a lot of money were like, okay, I'm going to post these videos because this is the stuff that people want to see. Like you guys were saying here, but not necessarily being interested or being passionate like about luxury or even frankly liking luxury, but like buying it because they thought it was really cool. Right. So it's kind of like the Lydia Millen thing. Like, Lydia has, I think has said like different things about her Hermes journey. Sometimes she's like, oh, all of my bags are from the store, but that's not true. All of her bags are not from the store because sometimes she'll be like, oh, I got this from this place or I got this from this place. It was a trend and it was because of COVID. COVID really just took it to the next level and it just completely went nuts during COVID. But now, the realities of like the world, geopolitical shenanigans and games that are being played, people's jobs and lives have come to the fore in different parts of the world. So now people have different priorities. Lucy says that's exactly it. They had spare money back then. The COVID demand was never going to last. Exactly. It was a bubble. The bubble has burst. So I think it's more accurate to say the COVID bubble burst because I think it's for me, if I'm honest, because I'm a cynic at heart, all of these I'm leaving luxury videos, me personally, do not come across sincere to me, if you ask me. What I think this is about is people are looking for attention online and want to get attention online again. If you don't have an unboxing, if you film a controversial video saying luxury is dead, people are legitimately filming videos right now saying the luxury industry is dead after being exposed virally on TikTok. How many viral TikToks happen every day and no one's talking about them by next week? Literally by next week, no one will be talking about this. Literally. Okay. You know what I mean? So I think that after the COVID bubble burst, that made a lot of people reassess like their views. And I think a lot of influencers who are posting these like luxury is dead videos, they are trying to rebrand their channels. It's not so much luxury is dead, so much as it is them rebranding their channels. Because I have to be honest, if I'm following you for luxury content, I do not want to see you post a luxury is dead video. I will not be sticking around to watch your videos. That's just keeping it real. I'm not going to give you a Pexis unicorn answer. I'll watch your new videos and stuff. That's why I don't post about like motherhood on here. I posted my son on my Facebook page and on my personal Instagram, not even my luxury Instagram, because not everyone cares about that, and that's fine. So I think that the people who are posting these luxuries dead videos, it's like you're doing this because you're trying to rebrand your channel. Like I think it's particularly irritating if you have a luxury, you're like luxury is dead, so now I'm going to talk about personal finance. I don't want any luxury influencer lecturing me about money. I don't want any luxury influencer lecturing me about how to live my life. I want you to be a luxury influencer, post about luxury, tell us about all the gorgeous, beautiful things, because life is crazy enough as it is. I don't need to come onto YouTube and get a lecture. I hope I'm not lecturing anyone right now, but you know what I'm saying. Tanya says it's trend chasing. 2020 unboxing, 2022 quite luxury. Facts. 2024 luxury dead. I mean, I might need to just take your comment and put it on my Instagram. Yes. Exactly. It's just, what's 2026 going to be? Lucy says, exactly. My issue is they shame people who still like luxury, lol. Okay, but that's the thing, because it's kind of like the Amazon link stuff. So they'll be like, okay, luxury's dead, luxury's over. So now, let's talk about how we can live full lives. You can live full lives and still wear Cartier bracelets. Why does it have to be and or? Like, why can't you be a diverse, full human being with a wide range of interests? I don't understand why you cannot carry on wearing your Cartier bracelets, carrying your big H bags, carrying your big C bags, go to Van Cleef if you want to, and you can still be very mindful. Beauty Bon Voyage says, to Tanya, it'll be interesting to see how all luxuries made in China for $10 drama is going to affect these folks, the luxury gold are not going to be affected. They're not going to be. I'm willing to put money on it as well. I'm willing to put money on it. The only thing that I think might be affected is like, sorry, disconnected again. Tanya says there's nothing wrong with pivoting your personal brand, but it's disingenuous and self-important to claim that because you're over it, as a whole luxury is YouTube's over. Yeah, it's so self-indulgent as well. Nora says too many luxury influencers think that there is no content without unboxings. You can talk about new collections, what's boring, what's fun without buying every month. Well said. I'm going to get back to that in a second. Beauty Bon Voyage says I could have sworn that 5 to 10 years ago it was out that LV and some other brands had factories in China. I don't get how this is causing waves. I think here's the thing. I think that like the problem with like luxury brands is that people feel very possessive about the way these brands make them feel. Well, for whatever reason. A lot of you in this chat, this does not apply to you. You guys don't care. You like the aesthetics of how a brand looks. But a lot of people who are casual shoppers, they care how the brand makes them feel. Of course it's about branding. Of course it's about status. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I mean, so what if you like things that have status or that look really, really nice, you know? Fighting with people about like Loro Piana and like Brunello Cucinelli on TikTok. I've been there and I've done that. Explaining to people that these people still buy high-end nice things is like whatever. But to Nora's point about luxury influencers, I think the thing is that luxury influencers who post unboxings, those are the videos that really get lifted by the algorithm because they attract a lot of casual watchers. You guys, you might have people who you support and follow who don't post unboxings and you like them. But when you post unboxings, you bring a lot of casual watchers to your channel. And I think a lot of luxury influencers don't want that pressure anymore. So instead of saying, I don't want to shop at luxury brands anymore because I don't want the pressure to unbox, instead they're like, luxury's dead, you guys. So instead, I'm going to share my life with you. I don't want to see your life, girl. I want to know, what do you think about the Etrovella? What do you think about luxury shopping in Amsterdam? What do you think about shopping in Milan versus Rome? Like, I want to know your thoughts on luxury shopping in Rome or luxury shopping in Miami. Like, I don't want you pontificating to me about, being mindful and, mindful consumption. Like, piss off, give me a break. Beauty says, I meant the YouTubers with their unboxes. Yeah, I understood you. Lucy says, LOL, I saw a picture of Melinda Gates, Bill Gates' ex-wife, with an LV. Never full. I was thinking all these anti-lux wealth whispers, quite luxury people probably paste LOL. Yeah, and even when the whole quiet luxury thing came out, remember when Mary Kate like posted her like Louis Vuitton, I forgot what Louis Vuitton bag it was, but it was one of the really monogram bags, and she was seen out and about in New York walking with it. She doesn't give a toss. And I know that the quiet luxury people were like melting down that day when Mary Kate was like walking around with it, when her brand is like the definition of quiet luxury, and she was like walking around with like a monogram bag that's clearly hers, and that obviously she's not being paid to wear it. She's like walking around with it. So I think to that point is like, I think a lot of influencers need to just be transparent and be honest. Just be transparent and honest that you don't want to buy things right now. That's fine. But don't give us the sermon and don't preach to us that, it's because you're changing your life. You're thinking about like what matters in life. You can care about the world, be a charitable person, be a good human being, treat people well, and you can still buy expensive things and you can still buy nice things. It does not mean that you don't stop caring about the world. It really pisses me off. And one might argue it's even misogynistic to even imply that you have to choose. Because men do not choose. A man is going to buy the Cullinan, he's going to buy the Benz, he's going to do nice things, and he's going to go to work. Why do we have to choose? And I'm not even like, massive, like super feminist like that, but still. Lisa says, I think a lot of influencers don't have anything to add or true insight on the fashion industry. I think they just bought bags to flex. LOL. All right. I have to say, I agree. There's so much truth serum in today's chat. You guys are on point. Tanya says, I think part of why Quiet Luxury came about was people just trying to distinguish themselves from others, as we were inundated with the same brands and products, e.g. Van Cleef bracelets. But I think, but even, and you know what I found so frustrating, particularly like about the quiet luxury debate, is the people who are like, the people who are like, rich people don't show how much money they have. I'm like, literally, rich people roll up to the bank in Mercedes Benzes, in Porsches, in the Bentley truck. I mean, you're not gonna tell me you look like a raggedy hot mess and you look like you could be an Oliver Twist, but you're driving the Bentayga Bentley truck. But somehow we're supposed to believe that, that person doesn't buy high-end things. And anytime I mention cars, it shuts down the debate. All of a sudden people like start melting down, and then I get yelled at. I'm like, okay, well, answer the question. Lucy says people are dumb. It's not poor people buying haute couture and crocodile Birkins. LOL. Yeah, I mean, just like trying to reason with these people is not worth the time. I've tried. The months when I wasn't posting, I was spending a lot of time on TikTok just responding to people's comments, like on other videos, if I thought they were misinformed. And just like the way people justify things, is just there's no point, because you cannot reach these people, because they're people who have decided that quiet luxury means that you don't wear a logo in your life. But who is buying the $70,000 Lozine trunk from Louis Vuitton? Who is buying that? A lot of people are buying it because you cannot walk into Champs-Elysees and walk out with a Lozine. You have to walk in there, and then you have to get it ordered, and it has to be made, and then it has to be shipped to your house, and they come to your house and they ship it there. Because there's one of the Glamazons who actually ordered the Lozine, and it was such a long, drawn-out process just to get one. Lucy says, I do think now credit and scams and knockoffs have changed the dynamic a bit. Okay, in what way? TikTok is the worst. They're so pro knockoff. Yeah, I have to tell the TikTok algorithm I don't want to see fakes. Tony says, I found it laughable. I also found it laughable influencers stating they were now into quiet luxury while simultaneously having videos on your channel allowing your 40 luxury bag collection not very quiet. There's nothing quiet about that. There's nothing quiet about Hermes being sued by 3 people in California. That doesn't sound quiet to me, if you ask me. And for everyone's like quiet luxury, and everyone's talking about Loro Piana. That doesn't sound so quiet to me if they're all over Succession. I think a lot of this is about people who are misinformed, trying to compete with each other and trying to feel superior. There was a really interesting comment I saw on another YouTuber's page. I don't even remember the video I was watching, just because right now I'm like nursing at night, so I do a lot of doom scrolling. And the comment was so interesting. The comment was like, the person was saying that they felt really bad that they couldn't afford anything from Louis Vuitton or Gucci or Chanel or Hermes, but now they feel like, oh, it's a true luxury to have your bank account. It's a true luxury to be able to pay your bills. I'm like, if that's what you need to say to make yourself feel better, that's fine. But those are not luxuries. Those are necessities. You need a bank account. Okay? You need food to live. Those are not luxuries. They're necessities that all human beings need to live. The ability to access that. So if you want to feel good about yourself, cool, say that. But trust me, the people shopping at Louis Vuitton and Gucci, they have multiple bank accounts with a Z. They're not triggered. Taylor says, not to get you yelled at, but are you still thinking about the Lambo? Just sold my RR. Thinking about a 911. Wow. Very hesitant. I would love to get the Lambo, but if I bought it, I wouldn't tell my husband. It would just get shipped here. I'd be like, oops. The car I'm looking at, not range, not rolls. The car I'm looking at right now is the G63 AMG. I actually saw one that was being sold in London, but I wouldn't be able to justify flying over with the baby to go look at it. So I'd have to take like a chance and order it. But yeah, I would love to get the Lambo. I mean, I'm a Taurus, and the Lamborghini is the mark of the Lambo is a bull. Love that. But yeah, I'm looking at the G63 AMG right now in all black. And if I bought the Lamborghini, I would not tell my husband. I saw someone saying if you don't tell your partner, it's wrong. Everyone has a different relationship. It would just turn up here. I'd be like, oops. Lisa says, LMAO, that's hilarious, but you're right. No, seriously though. Seriously. These people, you can't, oh, Loro Piana is so quiet luxury. Why do I hear about it all the time when people talk about Succession? If it's so quiet and no one knows about it, Why is everyone talking about it? Lucy says, do you know what your star sign, moon, and rising is? I have no idea what my moon and rising is. I'm a Taurus. That I know, but I have no idea of that. Maybe you can tell me how I can find that out. Because I'm a Taurus, honey. Like we're hedonists. We love a good time, but like I want people to own liking nice things. Okay, if you like you're not gonna sit here and tell me that it's quiet luxury, but someone has a Lamborghini or Ferrari. There are people who legitimately go to the bank in different parts of the world and look a mess and are coming out of a Ferrari. I'm not listening to anyone lecture me about luxury goods if you have a really nice car. And I said that in a comment once to someone on TikTok during my hiatus. I was like, what car do you drive? Okay, and the person said they drive the Range Rover Evoque. You're not going to lecture me about big Gucci. When you drive a Range Rover, I'm not going to be lectured. Okay, Range Rovers are really, really nice luxury cars. But you want to sit here and talk about people who are wearing the GG Supreme monogram. Go, bye. Taylor says G63 would be lovely. I'm a fellow Taurus. Yay! What car are you getting next? Here, I'm just checking. What did you say? You should get the Porsche 911. Yes, get it. That's such an iconic car. And I feel like the UK's roads are like really suited to driving the 911 like during summertime. And Tanya says, I'm a Leo, love being a fire sign. Ooh, like that. Lisa says, if you look up your astrology chart, you can put the time and date and location you were born, tell you your big three, basically provide insight into your inner self. Okay, cool. I'll do that. I will do that after this live. That is cool. I'm into this stuff. The stars are part of our world, so it's definitely something I can see. I'm in Aries, haha, we're all crazy. Yeah, we're all crazy signs. Like, we all like nice things, but we own it. We're not sitting here being like, guys, I used to buy luxury, but now I just feel like my life has more meaning, and now I want to tell you about how you can be an incredible person. Like, piss off. Fuck off. You're not Tony Robbins, okay? I can listen to Tony Robbins because Tony Robbins has a fucking island. Yes. I will listen to someone who has bought an island, but you're not going to lecture me about luxury and you've already bought. I think what I find really irritating about those videos is they're so patronizing because the people who are posting those videos have already acquired so much luxury stuff. So it's easy for you to be like, oh, I'm over luxury now when you've already acquired so much stuff, like whether it's leather goods or handbags or high-end cars. And even the car debate is an interesting one, or luxury clothing that isn't easily like recognizable. So I just wish people would stop giving people lectures. Like I said, don't lecture me about, the Gucci and Gucci being tacky if you drive a luxury car. Like I'm not going to hear anyone lecturing me about that. And some of these discussions veer into, thinly veiled racism and xenophobia, and it can get very uncomfortable very quickly. Tanya says, exactly, Kagem. A lot of them have reached peak saturation of luxury and don't know what else to buy. Exactly. And I'm going to go further. A lot of them have reached peak saturation of luxury, as you said, but also a lot of them maybe, for whatever reason, have decided they no longer want to shop in the store, or maybe they're just not up to shopping in the store anymore. So if you're not going to maintain your profile at the store, your SA is going to drop you. We know how cutthroat the SA shopping world is. SAs don't respond to messages if you don't spend enough money. They don't send you lookbooks if you don't spend enough money. They don't get your items if you don't spend enough money. So I think a lot of these people need to own why they're not shopping. Just own it. And don't try and preach to us about being a better version of yourself and not shopping and not buying anything. It's very patronizing. You've already shopped and bought all of your things. The rest of us who are interested, let us enjoy it. Lucy says quiet lux trend is very rooted in racism, classism. Yeah, it's very racist. Listen to how people talk about Gucci and who wears Gucci. It's very racist. Tanya says there's a lot of classism in the conversation that isn't being mentioned. Yeah, there is. There's a lot of classism. There's a lot of xenophobia. There's a lot of racism as well. And it's very uncomfortable to hear people say, like certain brands that are popular in certain communities, people say horrible things about those brands. So I'm just like, and that's why I was saying, I definitely will check out Loro Piana. I think Loro Piana would be a cool brand for me to explore. My husband was looking at the men's stuff and he liked a lot of what he saw there. But the moment certain brands become popular in other communities, people are like, oh, it's tacky now, all this and this and this. Lucy said, my thing is though, why do they need to announce it to the world that they're over it? It's obvious that they want views. Exactly. Now, I'm glad you brought this up, and we're going to have a discussion. I'm not going to name anyone. I'm not going to say anyone's name or anything like that. But you don't need to announce that you're not shopping at a brand. You don't need to announce that you're leaving a brand. No one cares. I've said this before. This is not JFK Airport, New York. This is not Gatwick in London. This is not Charles de Gaulle. Okay? It's not. It's not Oliver Tambo Airport in Johannesburg, South Africa. You do not need to announce that you're no longer shopping at a brand, that you're leaving a brand. The only time I think I would be interested to hear someone's leaving a brand is if it's like someone had like a really horrible racist or xenophobic experience in a store. Yes, okay, I'd like to know why you're not shopping there. But if you have not been attacked at that level, I don't care. I couldn't give a toss why you're not shopping there. Okay, and I think sometimes, like, respectfully, I think people on social media, and this isn't about anyone in particular, but people kind of elevate their like importance as a customer. You know, we've talked about this before, but YouTube is like 1% of all people, or maybe even 0.0001% of all people who like luxury in the English-speaking world. For those of us in the Anglophone luxury community, right? Because don't forget, they're like Korean channels, Chinese channels, Japanese channels that have tons of subscribers and stuff. Like these YouTube videos and creators that are on here, it's like 0.0001%. So you being like, I'm not shopping at a brand anymore. I'm no longer shopping from this brand. It's like, that literally is not going to even make a ripple for the girls. That's how much money they make. The amount of money that brands make is insane. Even brands that you'd be really surprised at how much money they make. Because it was like, one of my cousins was like asking me like, how can these brands afford to pay the rents for like Fifth Avenue, New York, or Sloane Street in London, and Avenue Montaigne in Paris? I'm like, they don't need that many people, like, to pay the bills. Lucy says, there's a YouTuber who made a video talking about why do people care about an influencer selling her bags and announcing she's done with Lux. Like, maybe people feel misled by the influencer. People do feel misled by the influencer because you're posting links. As an influencer, you deserve to get some money and make some money from the videos that you're doing. But like, people do feel misled, for sure. I can see how someone would feel misled. Because it's like, oh yeah, guys, buy all these links. Okay, by the way, I'm done now. Okay, what? Tanya says, people 100% overestimate their significance. And it's a very Western point of view that just because you're over it, the whole world is. Yeah, the whole industry is. Yeah, exactly. And we're not over it. So you don't need to announce that you're not shopping there. We don't care. Like I said, for me, it has to be egregious conduct, like seriously bad. If it's your essay's not kissing your ass, I'm sorry, I don't care enough. Taylor says it's not nice, but low-key did enjoy following that situation. I'm not going to say it. I hope she's doing well in her peaceful world. Lucy says, then they try and make money off selling their bags with paid sponsorships. Right. Not sure if you saw it, but she had one of the posts about where she's selling her bags. No, I didn't see this. My views on this is like, I want people just to be transparent. Just say that you're not into it right now because there's a lot of geopolitical and economical stuff going on in the world. So you feel like right now you don't want to participate. I think it's better to be honest about it versus you just being like, I'm over it now. These brands have existed. These brands predate the formation of countries. These brands have been around. Some of them have been around before World War I. Okay, some of them, Chaumet was around when Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were running around. Remy Martin, the alcohol company, is, I think, the only French luxury company in existence that still has a royal warrant. Like, girl, you are not, like, your YouTube video is not canceling a company that was around when France was a monarchy and still has the original royal warrant. They're not getting canceled. Trust me, they're not. And that's not me defending them. It's just stating facts. You're not canceling that brand. Beauty Bon Voyage says, that's the confusing part. If no one is buying luxury anymore, then who is going to buy it? It's so true. It's so true. If no one's buying luxury, sorry. That's so true. You guys are funny today. Everyone's making me laugh. I hope I don't get cancelled on this stream. LMAO. If no one's buying luxury, so sorry. I love this comment so much. If no one's buying luxury anymore, who's gonna buy your luxe items for an even higher resale price like the Hermes resellers? Who do you sell them to? LOL. Oh, you guys are laughing saying LOL. Yeah, I mean, just like, I don't know. I don't know. And you know, here's another thing. Luxury comes in a lot of like shades, right? What about the same people saying that they're over luxury? I find it so patronizing that you're like, okay, now I'm going to shop contemporary brands, but I'm going to flog links to you for those as well. I don't want to see contemporary brands. I have nothing against them. That's fine. But that's just not something I'm interested in or passionate or excited to see. And I also don't want you to like preach to me about, you know, changing my life, being mindful about my life, being mindful. I cannot watch content about stuff I'm not interested in. So the people posting like mindful consumption videos, I don't care. If you're posting about not shopping, I don't care. If you're posting about, you know, not buying anything, whatever, like that's cool. It's just not something I'm interested in or passionate or excited about. So I won't be able to like follow you on your journey, and that's fine. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I acknowledge that, and I'm fine with that because everyone might not like me. But I just think it comes across so patronizing as well. Like, oh guys, like I've already built my collection and I've spent all this money, but I have a massive collection. But actually, I think luxury handbags and luxury shopping and luxury brands in general are a complete waste of money. Who says, I like mindful consumption topic, but to me, mindful consumption is buying designer items that last. LOL. If you said that to the mindful consumption people, they would drag you. Tony says, telling your subscribers to be mindful is fine, but hypocritical in the same video if you're flogging us links. They will be flogging links, because that's what they do. Have you noticed, like, all the mindful consumption videos, it's the same thing, flogging links. They'll be like, guys, be mindful, but now go shop my Amazon shop. Well, which one is it? Because it's still consumption. Bougie Stock Doc says, the preachiness is so annoying. Just because they decided to make a change doesn't mean I quickly click out of the video. Yeah, me too. They lose me in those things. That's fine. They can go find other people who can go support them. But it's like, can you just, like, coming on here is meant to be a fun, like, thing. It's meant to feel fun coming on YouTube, whether you're watching or whether you're creating. I think it's just really exhausting coming to watch someone who used to be part of this space, has left this space, and now wants to tear the space down. I think if you want to leave luxury and you have no interest in like luxury, that's fine. But don't preach to us because we're tired. Nora says there have been some smaller influencers who have explained why the geopolitical situation is making them hesitant to buy, to be inspired, and I do respect that. Okay, I haven't seen these videos. What are people's reasons? Can you explain what they've said? Because I haven't seen them. I think my views on the geopolitical games that are going on right now is that the world keeps turning regardless of what's happening in the world. Regardless. Okay? So regardless if they're trade wars, they're geopolitical games being played, people still go to work tomorrow. My country, Easter Monday is always a public holiday, but in your country, maybe today people are at work. People are still going to go to work tomorrow. You still have to pay your bills every month. So I'm going to enjoy life for what it is. And then that's fine. If other people, you know, feel worried and feel afraid, that's fine. We all have different lives, and everyone has like different, you know, views. And I, like you said, Nora, I respect like their views on that too. I guess what I don't understand is like, don't like talk about how you loved luxury, but now you're over it. Tanya says, Kian, what are your thoughts on buying luxury as an investment? I think it's bullshit. I hope that's okay that I said that. So I'm just gonna go back to being unfiltered, like the old days of my channel. I think it's bullshit. Luxury is not investments. They're not. If you want to feel, but again, I think this is more BS that people tell themselves to feel better about spending a lot of money. I don't think any luxury item is a true investment unless it's something from that Princess Diana owned. If you have a necklace that she owned that was part of her personal high jewelry collection, sure. But unless Prince William and Prince Harry's mother wore it, it's not an investment. Nora says they're just saying that impending recession or tariffs might make them scale back on purchases, but they weren't saying they're over luxury. Oh, okay, so more like economic reasons. Okay. Tony So this says, when are you taking baby business class? I'm dying to see you do plain T blog. I just booked Hong Kong, Melbourne, Qatar business class. That's so excited. Oh wow, that's so nice. All my trips moving forward from now on will be business or first class. If there's a first class cabin, I'll go there. I'm not dealing with people having a moan and a groan because your baby's there. Like, you know, I'll fight them and drag them too. They're gonna get dragged too. You know. Tanya says LMAO. Yeah, seriously, like it's not an investment unless a really famous woman owned it, like Princess Diana, Liz Taylor, Marilyn Monroe, Dorothy Dandridge. If you have a diamond that Queen Elizabeth wore and should be in the royal collection at the Tower of London, yes, you have an investment. But most people do not have those things, so they're not investments, and that's fine. I think maybe like a very rare trunk that Louis Vuitton himself made. Okay, fine. But that's like more like antiques. I just don't think luxury is an investment, guys. I don't. I think you can tell yourself it is. You can make yourself think it is if it makes you feel better about shopping, but it's not. Lucy says, I love Q Suites on Qatar. Yeah, it's amazing. Bougie Doc says, I think a lot of them probably overconsumed. It's no longer as fun for them. Oh, well, not the same for me. Lucy says people are also never factor in pre-spend ratios when they talk about luxury as an investment. Exactly. Most items lose a ton of value. We walk out the door. Even Birkins lose value. There's a reseller in Paris who was selling the Birkin 25 in matte alligator in that beautiful light green color called Vert d'Eau. You know that color, Vert d'Eau? So it's a Birkin 25 matte alligator, I beg your pardon, in Vert d'Eau. She was selling it for 65,000 euros. Okay, I'm really bad at math, so I have to get the calculator out. She was selling it for 65,000 euros from the store, like last year from the boutique. I believe it was 42.5 euros. So there's a gap of 22,000. It was a 25 Birkin, Lucy's asking. There's a gap of 22.5 euros. She's not making, not necessarily this reseller, but if you resell that bag for 65K, you're not making any money on that bag because you played the game for that bag. You did. Because you have 22,500 euros spare, which means the person who sold it didn't get their money back because the reseller is going to take a big cut. So, and yes, and exotics traditionally always lose money, but you're basically, when you leave Hermes with your Birkin, you have lost the value because you have pre-spent. Most people have pre-spent for that bag. Lisa says the light green color is gorgeous. Yeah, it's beautiful. Nora says business class is so disappointing on US airlines. Really? Oh God, business class. Business class in F1 is quite nice actually, but yeah, business class on Qatar is another level. It's gorgeous. Tanya says it also costs money to resell your items with a reseller, and the average person doesn't have an audience to sell like those influencers. Right, exactly. Lucy says it's a scam of around 35,000 USD waiting on a Birkin 25 croc. Once you add the cost of the price, the reseller route would have been cheaper. Yeah, the reseller route exactly would have been cheaper, especially for exotics. So that Birkin 25 in Vert d'Eau, matte alligator, that was brand new from the store with the receipt. It had never been used. It's never, literally, it was from the store. That's someone's offer. And then obviously maybe they had buyer's remorse and then they wanted to get the money back. You're not getting it. You might just get what you paid for it. You didn't make a profit. So all of the stress of like, you know, trying to connect with the SA, trying to pre-spend for this, whatever, is it really worth it? No one has Jane Birkin's collection. Perhaps maybe her daughters do. No one has Jane Birkin's handbags. Her daughters probably have them. Those are probably worth a lot of money. But it's like I said, you know, unless it's Princess Diana's stuff, I just don't see how these things are investments. I think people say this to themselves to justify spending that much money. Again, my husband watches my lives periodically, but not all the time. If I buy that bag and you see it, I didn't tell my husband. If you buy a $65,000 or euro crocodile bag, don't tell your husband. Don't tell them. Be like, oh, it's here now. Oops. Can't take it back either way. Can't get a refund. You know, you're not going to get your money back on it. The person who sold the reseller the bag did not make any money from it. It's 42.5K from the store. You obviously have to buy jewelry to get that bag in Europe. Tanya says it's also very misleading to young women getting into luxury. If you want an investment, go see a financial advisor, not your SA. Yeah, I agree. And there are a lot of people who are who like maybe don't understand how things work and have just come into a ton of money. It is not an investment. Lucy says, I think there are a lot of marketing around it too. I keep seeing these things on news platforms that show Hermès outperforming the S&P 500. The S&P 500, is that like American investment market, right? I think that the problem is Hermès benefit from this, but Hermès also want to kill the Hydra. Because right now the Birkin, the Kelly, frankly, even the Constance in the right colors is pretty desirable. It is the like three-headed Hydra, and they want to kill it, but they also want to feed it at the same time. So they also need to make a decision. And I feel like we're seeing them make these decisions with these blue boxes that, frankly, some of these bags are trolls. Like the Cheval de Bois Mini Kelly with the horse with 24 on it. I mean, the horse is overkill. Okay, on that Mini Kelly. We've talked about this before on my Instagram and stuff. Tanya says exactly. Lucy Bougie says yes. Top 500 performing companies in America. That's right. Yeah. So Hermès have like that three-headed Hydra. Okay, you have this monster of these three bags that people are trying to attain. There's a really beautiful Constance I saw yesterday on a reseller's page. It was like black crocodile. I mean, so stunning. I mean, the Constance is more expensive than the Capucine in Croc. In Croc. In fact, let me go on the purse room right now and tell you how much the Constance is in Croc. I mean, Hermès are also being very dynamic with the way they make decisions about pricing. I think that their pricing decisions tell us, okay, purse room isn't opening up for some reason. I think that their price decisions tell us a lot about what they're trying to do. Sometimes I feel like they make things really expensive to really deter people and to make sure that the exclusivity is there. I think the Birkin 30 in America, in Process Shiny, on the purse forum, someone said that they saw it for $74,000. I mean, that is a salary. That's a salary. And that is a Birkin 30. Okay, it's come up now. That's insane. Let me just show you guys. Christine, hello Christine. Hi all, just joining for a little before going to work. Oh, okay, have a nice day. It's a holiday here today. Although I'm just like chilling at home these days. But I'll be going back. I'm going back to work this month. Not this month, really, next month. Okay, here we go. I'm just pulling up the purse forum. Oh my God, here it is. Birkin 30 Process Lease. So that's the shiny crocodile Process in the Cellier style. 74,500 USD. Big H knows what she's doing, pricing it at that. At this point, you are pricing it that way so that, first of all, that bag is not going to any reseller. If you like exotics, you would not buy $100,000 Birkin bag in Croc from a retailer. The one that I saw at the retailer, I could see how that's tempting just to get out of the pre-spend stuff. But I'm like, if you have 65,000 euros, just go to the store. Ballet Dancer says, hello, Haya, into the chat. Hello, Ballet Dancer. Lucy says, crazy thing is B30s and Croc on resale are fairly priced. Right. Ballet Dancer says, please hit the like button. Yes, please do. I always forget to ask you guys to do this. I think sometimes I'm like, I don't ask you guys to do this. Please hit the like button and please like react with the smileys. Some of you were pressing on the emojis. Please do that. That really helps. Birkin 30, 74,500 in America. That is a salary. What is the average salary in America? Let me Google it. Okay. Average salary in USA. Average salary in USA, according to Big Google, is $66,000. The Birkin 30 in shiny crocodile is more than the average American salary. They know what they're doing. You will not be able to resell that thing. You won't. Beauty Bonfire said, saw a question on LinkedIn out of all places asking which brand's signature color is the best, most iconic. Oh, that's nice. Tiffany's, that's a really cool question. Tiffany's blue, Hermès orange, Bottega green, Gucci burgundy, Cartier red, or others. I say Tiffany. Ooh, that is interesting. Ooh, I'm gonna need to think about that. Ooh, that's really interesting. I think for me, Cartier red, I think it's just so iconic. When I think of red, I think of Cartier. If you see someone carrying a red bag, just know it's a Cartier shopping bag. Lucy says, I think some of these ultra wealthy would rather buy direct from reseller. I follow two girls whose husband's in the NBA, one whose man is a 400 mil and she gets her Crocs from resellers. Yeah, you know, I have a theory on why she would go to a reseller. If like the one she has a baller husband, the other's husband's worth 400 mil. At a certain point, it's like Big H is still going to make them play the game. They're still going to make those women play the game because she's not going to be able to walk in and just ask for a Himalayan. Each store gets 1 to 2 Himalayans a year. A year. That was what the streets were saying a few years ago, that every boutique in Hermes gets 1 to 2 Himalayans a year. That was from a few years ago. Let's assume that's still true. You can't just walk in and be like, I want a Himalayan Birkin. And I think I've said this before, but I think the Himalayan Birkin is more desirable than the Himalayan Kelly, meaning I think the Himalayan Birkin is harder to get. So I think at that level of money, you might as well just go to a reseller because they just have so much cash. I still think if you have 400 million, you should play the game in the store, but still. Tani says Tiffany Blue. Okay, got you. Lucy says, I saw Himalayan B25 when Japanese resellers for 120K. Okay. And you know, if it's a Japanese reseller, it's not fake. Lucy says, I agree. It's definitely more desirable. It's just, yeah, it's way more desirable. I think aesthetically it looks better as well. I don't like the Himalayan Kelly. I think it's because it's in Vuitton. If they'd made it a Cellier, I think it would have looked nicer. Bougie says, I can't be bothered by the retail store. I just want what I want, and I will not be convinced otherwise. All of mine have been from resellers. Honestly, I completely understand. Like I said, I saw the Birkin 25 in Virto in Matte Alligator. I can't lie. I was like, this is very tempting. And she was in Paris, and she was like, it's hand delivery. I even asked her the process. She's like, oh, I can come to your hotel, and it's hand delivery with the receipt from Faubourg. It was from Faubourg. Someone was offered that bag at Faubourg. Bag Lover Lux. I think it's Tiffany Blue too. I think people are more likely to get married than buy luxury goods from other houses. Well said. Well said. For me, I think I think still Cartier red. Although I must say, Tiffany's expansion worldwide, I think is making the brand more known, like internationally. Because like there's a friend of ours who's a jeweler here in Tanzania, and she was saying that like more people are asking for like. People sometimes come to her and be like, can you make this for me? And people will pull up pictures from Tiffany's website. So definitely the LVMH acquisition, I think is working for them. Lucy says, I'm not crazy about Himalayan Birkins and Kellys, to be honest. Oh, is there any reason why? I used to feel like Himalayan Birkins and Kellys were like the gold standard of exotics, but I just feel like there's so much competition from other brands right now. And I feel like Hermes knows that. The bag, which I want to know how much it is, they would never offer me this. I don't know how much it is, so I don't even know if I could buy it. Is the Mini Kelly in Croc. I believe it's shiny with the diamond hardware. When I go to Paris this summer, if I get a bag offer for whatever bag that is, I will ask the SA how much that is, because it is impossible to find out the information of how much that thing retails for. I'm just curious to know the price. So I think I can understand why, why one would go to a reseller. Even when I was speaking to the reseller about that Birkin 25, I wanted to know if it was from FSH, brand new. She was like, it's completely brand new with the receipt. It hasn't been touched. Like someone was offered it at Faubourg and went straight to a reseller, straight away. Taylor says, have you let Edwin scroll Ombre Nomad? Smell Ombre Nomad is my fave. I feel like you two rock that vibe. I might just blind buy it for him. Do you think it's a nice masculine scent? Is it like really nice for the lads? If so, I can blind buy it for him. He really loves the that YSL night fragrance. That's his favorite now. But I could definitely blind buy it for him and see if you'd like it. I love their fragrances. Louis Vuitton's fragrances are unmatched. Lucy says, I like the Hima or Lady Dior, but something about the leather on a B or K just doesn't feel easy on the eyes. With a stark contrast, I would love in all white or white collar croc. Yeah, I think in white collar croc it would look nicer. And also it's going to patina. Now, that said, but I do think the Himalayan Capucine looks better than the Himalayan Birkin or Kelly. The Himalayan Capucine at Louis Vuitton aesthetically looks better than the Himalayan Kelly. And I think it's because there are a few like these are just like just me nitpicking just the design of the item, not obviously the craftsmanship or anything like that. And then even with the Capucine, like definitely I'm considering it as well. So this summer I hope I'll get my first like exotic piece from some of the mainstream brands. I had an exotic piece from Lulu Guinness many years ago with snakeskin, but like I really, really want to get that. Now I would have to make a decision. I could either just go and buy 2 ostrich pieces, one at Dior and one at Louis Vuitton, or I could just go buy like the crocodile Capucine at Louis Vuitton, or I could just go all in and be ready in case I'm offered a crocodile Birkin or Kelly at FSH or a crocodile mini Kelly. But it's my understanding those bags are 1-to-1 in Paris. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. But I was told they're 1-to-1. And the mini Kelly and croc is 30,000 euros. So you need to spend minimum, I think you'd need to spend like 25K. So I have to think about it because I also want to go to Audemars Piguet. There's just so many things I want to buy. Taylor says, I feel like big Lisa Simpson when I wear it. I just love Lisa and her saxophone. You know, I love the Simpsons. I love Kang and Kodos, the aliens who are like watching Earth. I feel like they're watching us right now. The Earth is melting. Lucy says the hide looks smooth on the Capucine. Yeah, the Capucine aesthetically, they have got it right. And Louis Vuitton really hate when you put the Himalayan in the store. Don't do that. I made that mistake once. And she's like, you mean the Sahara? I'm like, yes, sorry, Sahara. Sorry. I was like, sorry. Lucy says, are you worried about the sites for croc alligator? Heard some brands don't issue them like at all. No, they have to. Okay, I don't know how it works in America, but in France, legally, they have to give you sites for anything that has crocodile or alligator, even rodeos. Even like the you know, at Big H, like the Kelly double tour bracelet in croc, they have to give you for that. And rodeos, even if it just has like a little strip, they have to. I wouldn't be worried about that. I think I would take the original and take like a photocopy and put it on Google Cloud and then email it to myself as well, just in case. So just in case it doesn't get seized. I mean, definitely, I feel like, I guess what I'm saying to you is this. I want to be ready this summer. Oh, now, yeah, I'm curious now, like a Lady Dior and Croc, they absolutely, legally have to give it to you. So if they say they don't have it, maybe it's just the SA doesn't know and it hasn't been briefed. It's my understanding, if you buy it in the European Union, that it has to be given for anything with crocodile on it, even shoes, or like the Kelly double toe bracelet. Because I feel like the thing with these purchases is it's hard to tell, because part of me is kind of like, this summer, if I don't buy a crocodile piece, I'll be thinking about it the moment I get back. But then another part of me is like, I kind of like the idea of going to Dior and getting like a lizard piece and then going to Louis Vuitton and getting an ostrich piece. But then I'll still be thinking about the crocodilian options at both brands. And Fendi have some really nice exotics right now as well. There's a lot of, I guess what I'm saying is, at Hermes, there's a lot of competition and you have to pre-spend for them. You have to pre-spend for it. So, you know, the mini Kelly and Croc at Hermes is like 30,000 euros. Do I want to go 1-to-1 for that? I don't know yet. But at a reseller, I saw a reseller selling one for 85K. I'm like, you know, if I have 60K this summer, you might as well just go to the store. Taylor says, yes, ombre nomad. So SEXY, so masculine. Oh, okay, great, perfect. That sounds perfect for him. 100% recommend for something manly. I think you'd appreciate. Okay, great. I'll definitely, because he loves like really masculine scents, like they're very masculine and strong. So I can definitely blind buy that for him. Lisa says, I like lizard but ages poorly. Croco alligator, I feel like is a superior exotic. Yeah, I agree. It's the top, it's the creme de la creme of exotics for sure. Bougie says, I think that's the same in the US. There's a lot of pre-loved sites that sell it, but no longer have CITES because people lost them. Not new ones come with CITES. Yeah, it has to come with the sites, because and that's why you can't buy it. You can't buy a resale exotic bag without sites, because you won't be able to travel with it. And you know how it is in the airport? There is that one person from customs who is a hater. Miss Libra Love Lux. Hi, Han. Hello. Good to see you here. So glad that you're here. You know, in customs in any part of the world, there's that one person who's a hater. Yeah, you know, and they'll see you rolling up. They'll see you happy. They'll see you. They'll see you on your phone. They'll be like, can you step here, please? And they're gonna see that crocodilian, dinosaur, Jurassic Park leather, and they will make your life hell. Yes, 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 God. That person will be like, do you have the CITES? You'll be like, I don't have it. They will seize it. And you get nothing from seizing it. You make no money from seizing it, and they will seize it. Lucy says, yeah, there's always that hater. Lucy says, I will say, no one has ever checked my CITES from my Croc shoes. I'm telling you, the day you don't have them, they'll be like, are those shoes alligator? I'm telling you, I swear to God. Ballet dancers, like the hate in customs. There's always someone hating in customs from the back. Bougie says, so true. Don't look too nice for going through TSA. I remember like on our honeymoon going through the TSA thing, the American customs thing, whatever, or the people who check people. And I swear they just look angry and hateful. I swear. I remember like talking to my husband, we're speaking in Swahili, and he's like, I bet you some of them understand Swahili, and we're just hating on them because they're just being hateful. Taylor says, would you ever do the shoe lab or watch lab at Big H and get a custom shoe or watch? I think, oh, you are, okay, that's a good point, because your previous question also was like, is anything you're stalking? Yeah, definitely want to try the exotic orans this time, like lizard ones. I would do the shoe lab. Lucy says, honestly, traveling with exotics makes me nervous in general. Bougie says, true haters. Yeah, but Lucy, you got to travel with exotics because they're so fabulous. And there was a lady in Paris when I was walking around with like a crocodile Kelly. My God, that thing really, it glimmers, honey. It shimmers. It's like Beyonce when she was 25 and 43 because she's a bad bitch. It's literally Beyonce in a bag. It's so gorgeous. So if you're walking in customs with that bag, whether it's a Birkin or Kelly, frankly, even the crocodile capucine is a beauty, a gem. You will be stopped by customs. Christine says, TSA is always angry and hateful. I swear they just look so mad and angry. And I'm like, you work in an airport with international customers, like you're going to need to smile at people because this is your job. You're not a Louis Vuitton SA gatekeeping a Murakami like stock. You have to, I don't know. I think the thing with customs is like, I saw this in a watch group that someone had bought the Rolex Presidential, you know, the gold Rolex for men. I think it's called the Presidential Rolex in all gold. And someone from customs stopped them and was like, when did you buy it? And it was like a purchase from like 3 weeks ago. So he didn't declare it. I think this is when he was returning from Europe to America. So he just put it on his wrist. And he was like interrogated for like an hour about it. And then finally they let him off. Because he was like, oh, but I bought this like a month ago. So I'm not familiar with American laws. I don't think that would be a problem in Paris. If you bought like a Rolex in London and then flew into Paris, I don't feel like you'd have to declare it. Because obviously the UK is not part of the European Union anymore. I don't think you'd have to declare it if it was like 3 weeks old. But I think it's really petty for the customs person to be like, I want to destroy this person's life by taking their 40,000 euro watch that I cannot buy. Not to be a hater. Luxury SAs can afford luxuries. They make a lot of money. You boo-boo in customs now. Christine says at the airport once I saw a lady with her shiny brown croc Birkin and she put the bag on the ground. I was screaming on the inside. She's insane. I would never do that. Oh my God. But she says it's different when we go back and forth to Puerto Rico. They're always so nice to me. Okay. I don't know. Oh, Lucy says shoe lab takes forever. Oh, okay. That doesn't sound exciting. Not for it to like take forever. So I don't know, guys. For me, honey, I think that you should buy the exotics. You should travel then, but only with the site. I would not go without the physical sites. And I would make sure to take a picture and put it on the Google Drive on my cloud, and I would email it to myself just in case I ever lost it. Because I just feel like, particularly like a Birkin in croc, it's such a statement. A Kelly in croc, the crocodile capucine, those are the Lady Dior in croc. It's like flashing, and then even ostrich. It's very obvious that it's an ostrich bag because of the way they raise the dots on the skin and stuff. So I just feel like you'd really stand out. And I feel like some of those people, they want to make a point. Some of them are very heavy-handed in the way they operate and do things, and they really want to make a point to you that they get to control you right now. Not all of them, but some of them can be very like, I am running things here now. Lucy says yes. Egotistical. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes I read the past forums like customs thread of the people flying from Europe going back to America. That just sounds like a nightmare. Having to and the people who don't declare like get attacked. I think there was like a thread from a few years ago. Someone I think on that thread like didn't declare. Everyone attacked them, and I was like, guys, can we just calm down? Like in my head, I was thinking it. Can we relax? Teddy says, you mentioned Rolex. Have you looked at new ladies watch the new land dwellers? I'm not a fan. It's a bit blah and too much like AP. Okay, let me look at them right now. I'm more of an Audemars girl for myself, but my husband likes Rolex. That's why I mentioned Rolex. I pay attention to Rolex for him, just in case. He does not want anything to do with luxury, but he'll be like, if there's something cool you think I should buy, just send me a picture and tell me how much it is. So let me go look at them now. Let me turn on my hotspot. Yeah, and even with watches, like the thing that the person did of wearing it on their wrist, I feel like all of us would wear it on our wrist. I don't think that he did anything wrong, but apparently some people were saying it's a gray area and that he should have declared that he bought it 3 weeks ago. I just don't see that as a new purchase. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't know what the law in America states. Definitely in my country, it wouldn't be considered new. Lucy says, I don't think it's a good idea to be flashy at the airport. The problem is like some of us are just flashy in who we are. So it's like, what do you do? How do you go incognito at the airport if you're like a maximalist at heart? But I agree with you. 3 weeks ago, like while he was away. No, like he went shopping in Europe and bought it in Europe. That he was heading home to America. So he was like on a 3-week holiday in Europe. He bought it in Europe and then he was heading home to the States, and then they began harassing him at the airport. Lucy says it should be declared if it was purchased overseas. Okay, but I guess people in this group were saying, why isn't there a time limit? It seems a bit harsh to me to like, maybe you went traveling for 3 months, you bought a Rolex in January, you bought an Audemars in February, but you're back home in America or Canada in May. Why should you have to declare something you bought in January or February? It seems a bit harsh. I put my H bags aside in a plain tote. Okay. Let me look up these Rolexes that Taylor mentioned. See what they look like. Let's see. There's so many. I can't wait for this summer. So yeah, this summer I think you guys will have a lot of great videos to watch. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Aha. Okay. Here we are. Let's see them. Cannot wait to show you guys all the cool things I'll see. And finally, I'll be in Paris when the weather's warm, because I just noticed, and my husband was like, all of your Paris and Berlin videos, you go when it's cold. I just realized that. I'm always there when it's cold, so it'd be nice to be there during summer. Lucy says, I think it's because they want their tax money. Bougie says, no time limit. They want their coins. I mean, I think that is, okay, that's, to me, I think that's harsh. That's wild to me. Okay, I do not like this, Taylor. No, absolutely not. I don't like this. I really don't like the dial. These new Rolex land dwellers. No, that's a no from me. Not that big Rolex cares what I think, but still. Bye. Bye. My NSYNC voice. Guys, please like the live, and I'm meant to ask you guys to share the live with someone who you think might like me but doesn't know about me. Apparently we're supposed to do that now, so I have to ask you to do this. My husband's is like always telling me to do things, but he doesn't. His Instagram is private, and he like doesn't even have social media. It's always the people who aren't on social media who are like telling people on social media what to do. Like, you should do this, you should do that. I'm like, post a picture of yourself right now. He's like, no. Okay, I really don't like those Rolexes. Ballet dancers laughing. Ooh, okay, because you just commented, that reminds me about Louis Vuitton. So I wanted to show you guys something as well about the Capucines. Louis Vuitton are increasing the price of their exotics every 6 months. Ask me how I know this. Louis Vuitton CA told me. Every 6 months, without fail, they will increase the price of all their exotic handbags. The Capucine Mini. Also, I like the Nano. I've seen this like Nano Capucine that I thought was so cute, but I think that the problem with the Nano is you can't fit how much of an increase. Give or take, it's between 5 to 8% ish. So, for example, the mini Capucine and Crocodile in Europe, I swear it was like 2 years ago. I swear was like 19,000 euros. Today, I'm just double checking here now on the European side. It's like 22.5k. Just gonna double check. In mini, in alligator. So every 6 months they increase the price. So that's just something to note. Now, obviously, if you're shopping in Europe and you're from another country, obviously you get the refund. Obviously, you know, you get the refund, so that's fine. But they really are increasing it like every 6 months. I think the Capucine and Croc is really special as well. So I was telling my husband that basically I'm going to play the game at Hermes. We'll see how far I get. We'll see what I get offered. And then if I'm not successful, I will definitely get an exotic from Louis Vuitton and or Dior. And then we'll see what happens with the Audemars Piguet appointment. All of this is up in the air. My husband was like, he doesn't like that I can't plan anything because you don't know what you're going to be offered at Hermes and you don't know what's going to happen at Audemars. You can't say you're going to walk in and buy something because you don't know what they're going to offer you. But I think I need to be ready. If I'm offered a crocodile bag at Hermes, I need to be ready to buy it that day. Ballet Dance says, is there an additional 10% increase across the board for LV? I haven't heard anything. Have you? This is just, it's just exotics. They increase them every 6 months. That's what a Louis Vuitton CEO told me. Lucy says, not awful, but can add up. Facts. It does add up over time because that thing was 19,000. Now it's like 22.5. Taylor says, sure thing. I haven't seen any land dwellers on resale yet. I was offered one from Lang's, but I didn't think it was for me. I really don't like it. Just me personally. I don't like the way that dial looks. Lucy says, Capucine looks gorgeous in that dark green croc. Yes, that is the one I'm talking about. So I'm saying, let's see what happens at Big H, but definitely I think the Capucine's getting my money this year. There's also that pink one, which I've already shown you guys in a video. I like that one too. I just wanted to double check the price of the crocodilian one here. But yeah, it's like 22.5, but that's like in the mini size because they also have the one in the B. I think in the BB, it's like 28. Anyway, I think it's a great purchase and I think it's really beautiful and it's very feminine and ladylike. But the problem with Big H is like you just don't know. Lately, I've been hearing that people are asking for exotics in Paris and they're not offering them. They have them, but they're saving them for like VIPs. I've seen people post this on the purse forum. I've seen people post this in Facebook groups that someone was like, oh, I asked for like a Kelly 25 in Croc, and they'll be like, oh, let's like build a relationship first. Or I asked for mini Kelly in Croc, and they'll be like, let's build a relationship first. So I wonder what's happening there. Like, are they saving exotics for their best spenders because they want to see who's reselling them? Maybe. Taylor says, haha, I agree. So funny. I thought the same. It's cute. It's not for me. Yeah, it's no. That's a no for me. No, again, Big Rolex does not care. Oh my God, the wicker Capucine is so pretty. Let's see on the website here. Guys, do you think the Cherries Murakami collection will be successful? I'm not tired of Murakami. Like, I'm still obsessed. I think he should come back. I'm still petitioning that he should come back. What do you guys think? I think he should come back and do his own collection. Taylor says, haha. So, Taylor says, show me Wimbledon dial any day. Lucy says, no, I don't think it will be a big hit. You don't? I thought Blossoms was going to flop and I was wrong. So I'm terrified about saying anything right now. Lucy says, I think the multi-coast stole the show. Yeah, they definitely started off with the most powerful one. Louis Vuitton is winning right now at life. Oh yeah, and then there's this black bag made from Swarovski crystals. Cute, but I don't know. Ballet Dancer says, yes, I think it will sell out too. Okay, let me go on the American website because I can't see them here. I just want to see like what it looks like. There's a really cool twist in Crocodile But I feel like you have to love the twist in order to buy it in croc, and I just don't know. I feel like Louis Vuitton's products look better in real life than they do on the website. So I think sometimes like when you see a picture, it's like hard to make that distinction. Lucy says, I've recently come around to VCA. LOL, used to hate it, now it's growing on me. I'm considering getting something. You and me both. What do you like at VCA? Is there anything you like that I should know about? I like the look of the Pavé Frivole between the fingers diamond ring. It's 25k though, and I'm thinking about getting the Cartier Pavé bracelet, which is 47.8. It's a lot of money to spend. Even with the refund, I'm like, do I like it that much? But I'll pass by, maybe just try it on. Apparently, according to the reviews I've read of the flagship store at the Place Vendôme, they're very like welcoming if you just want to try things on. You know my rule, I don't go to flagships to try things on and waste people's time. But people were saying like you can go in there and it's fine. Maybe they might have a strategy like getting you in the door and then hopefully you'll come back later. Okay, let's see. I'm loving the between the fingers pavé butterfly, but I find the between the finger rings a bit uncomfortable. Yeah, it's a tough one because I'm just like, I'm really interested in it. It's 20, I think in America it's like 27,000 US dollars. I just need to, like, I need to make sure that my husband doesn't go anywhere. I'm spending all of my money. But I like it. I'm just like, so part of me is like, would it be comfortable to wear often? And I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy it for evening events and then not wear it. I have to wear it. Taylor says, would you buy the Hermes Finesse necklace if offered? Seems really basic, but defo a bag bait item. I don't wear necklaces, and you know, like I can't stand anything on my neck. We've talked about this. I don't like the finesse line at Big H. It's not anything against finesse. It's perfectly fine. I like in terms of Hermes's jewelry, I like the Collier de Chien line. I think all of the pavé pieces in the CDC line are really pretty. Even just the gold jewelry, it's really, really nice. Okay. The Louis Vuitton American website has way more stock than other countries. When I say stock, I mean just like they have the link. That doesn't necessarily mean that the bag is available for purchase, but they have the link there. Lucy says, I like the Pavé Perlé bracelet, but I don't know if it's overpriced what it is. It's really, really nice as well. I think VCA is like their jewelry is very elaborate and intricate, and you can tell like even the fine jewelry pieces are very thought through. So even with VCA and all their drama, I would need to go to VCA myself and just see what's happening there before I make any judgments. There are so many Capucines on the American website. Oh my God. I have never seen this many Capucines on any website. Wow. There's a Cousin coming for the cherries collection. There are a bunch of things coming for cherries. I'm just waiting for better pictures and then I'll share them. I'm curious to see how successful it will be, but I really like it as well. I heard cherries is launching in June. I'm just curious to see if I'll be in Europe by the time it launches. I just don't know, but I'll be there this summer. So like June, July is when I estimate to be in Europe. Ballet Dancer says LV men's collection, men's line. My husband loves Louis Vuitton men's. And by the way, like remember I did the unboxing of his briefcase? Like he gets so many compliments, and like he told me like a bunch of people at a business meeting he had gone to were like, oh my God, where did you buy that? And he was like, oh, Louis Vuitton. Like, okay, I have to get mine too. And people were asking him like, can he get it in the Louis Vuitton in South Africa? And I was like, pretty sure that we can. So Louis Vuitton men's is fantastic. I think Louis Vuitton's men's line is very thought out. It's very intentional. They really thought about what men are looking for, what men want. They didn't like make a unisex line and then say that it's for men. That's fine if that's what you're interested in. But I think that there are a lot of men out there who want something that's for them and that has been designed for them. I think LV men's is doing well. I know that people have thoughts on Pharrell and stuff, but it's obviously working. Guys, I hate to be annoying, but can you like the video and like press on the emoji thing will give me reactions. Because, like, my channel could use all the love. So I was thinking maybe I can do a live once a week. So maybe like every Monday. Today's Monday, right? It's a when it's a public holiday, I don't know about you guys, but when it's a public holiday, doesn't it feel like Sunday? I was telling my husband this morning, like, doesn't it feel like Sunday to you today? Because to me, it feels like it's Sunday, even though tomorrow is like a normal work day. Ballet says yes. Tanya says, yeah, totally, definitely feels like Sunday. Yeah, it feels like Sunday, so it's like, it's Monday. So yeah, maybe I can do it like Monday, and some of you were saying like, give you guys a delay. It's just that sometimes, like, because my nannies come like 5 days a week, but maybe if someone's sick, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm doing a live tomorrow, and then one of the nannies calls in. If the night nanny calls in and says she's sick, then obviously I wouldn't be able to like do it. So I think maybe on the day I'll give you guys like a delay of like an hour, maybe that. Because YouTube is weird, like they turn off, like YouTube, like if you stop watching someone for like 3 videos, YouTube turns off your notifications. Have you guys ever wondered, like, the people who you watch, that if you've turned on notifications, YouTube is not sending the notifications? It's because maybe you didn't watch a video or a short, even just missing one, YouTube's like, oh my God, you don't like that person anymore. So I'll try and do that. Taylor says, I might get a Shandankra bracelet soon. Okay, that's nice. The silver one, I know it's gold or diamonds, but I think it's generally nice, not baked nice. Interested in your thoughts. That's nice. That's nice. Is this in the London store? New Bond Street? Or one of the boutiques in the UK? Because I think if it's the UK, I think that's fine. But you have to buy it in the shop, not online. Because I feel like the UK just requires like being seen. Because like the spending requirements for Britain are not that high. Like for the Manchester store and the boutiques in London, and then if we exclude the United Kingdom, then you have Ireland. That store, it's not like super competitive. So the UK and Ireland together, like the competition is just not as high as like maybe like mainland Europe. It's not gold. Yeah, it's fine. I think for the UK and Ireland, it's like okay, like silver would be fine. Okay, guys. So anyway, I've had a great time. So I think we'll maybe try and do these like once a week, maybe. I think it'll be so fun. I bought my mum the CDC ring, but the belt are not the nicest. Okay, the ring counts. You probably get it, and also because you said you're interested in like a Birkin 40, so there's like less competition for that one just because it's a bit larger. I know everyone's like, bigger bags are coming back. I don't think they're back, you guys. Guys, I am stunned at the amount of capucines that are on the American website right now. Did you have any joy with the Big H makeup foundation lip oil? Honestly, I don't think, I think Big H's makeup is like nice, but I think Dior and YSL and Chanel have better makeup. I still buy their makeup though. I like the, what do I like from, I like the cream, they have this like creamy satiny lipstick, that was quite nice, but if I had to spend like £100 or $100 or €100 on makeup, I definitely wouldn't be choosing Big H. And it's not shade to Big H. I hope no one from Big H watches this. I love you guys, okay? Do not get me cancelled this summer, please. So I think this summer we'll be going to the Parisian stores, and then there'll be another European city we're going to. We're just trying to decide where it is, and then maybe I'll try there as well. So we'll see. Ballet says I will go back to watch from the beginning. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, guys, look, thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad to see so many of you came this time. This is awesome. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the comments for this live. So please go leave a comment on the main feed right now, because I'm going to be uploading it. Okay, bye. Good night.